With future artists, I think it's important to be honest with yourself. So they have to be tried to be themselves. For other artists, it happens even for musicians. Overnight, they become stars. But for us, it was a long journey. I started when I was 12. Now I'm 48. Let it grow gradually. Yeah.
In the hands of sculptor Dominic Benhura, stone moves. His pieces don't have faces, but they still express emotion. They're made of rock, but they are still light. His hammer and chisel find the playfulness in stone. Benhura, who was born in 1968, had no formal arts training. He learned from other sculptors in Zimbabwe. The first was a cousin. He began by polishing his relative's work, but then took up tools himself. He sold his first piece when he was 12. He was initially inspired by nature and sculpted animals and plants. But then he became a father, and he began to concentrate on mothers and children. For Benhura, the striking of a chisel against stone is music, a music he wants to hear for the rest of his life. We met him at his studio in Harare.
I used to mold sculptures from clay in the rural areas, yeah. So I used to enjoy that very much until when I came to Harare and came across artists who were working with stones. So I was fascinated by stones when I was about 12, around 1980. And then I started working with stone. So it was more of a hobby, even now it's still a hobby. It was around in 1996 when I started doing figures of kids, when I had my own kids in 1994. That's when it started. Then actually it changed the face of Zimbabwean sculpture. Then we started having pieces with movement and stuff. So my themes basically around women, family values, children playing amongst themselves, or mother and child, or a family together. Whenever I travel, because my sculptures mainly centers on people, So although I do animals, lions, bulls and stuff, but I like people. But generally I'm inspired by animals and people of Africa, and also of the world. So I don't put facial features on my pieces. At the same time, when I started making the pieces which were playful, and whimsical, I realized whenever I traveled around the world, people were playing basically the same games, the kids, the mother and child swinging the baby, throwing the baby upwards. So I decided, why don't I just remove the faces, After all, I could see a lot of sadness in most of the pieces. Very few could make sculptures look happy, From the movement, it will create that those pieces have got faces, And I was right, people love them. So they relate very well wherever I go to people, because they are not Africans, they are not Americans, neither are they Turkish or Swedish, So it worked out very well for me, yeah. But I'm very curious to see the end product, because with stone, it's natural material. Sometimes we get surprised. Sometimes it doesn't go the way it planned. So actually I do sketches, then I look for the right stone, then I start working. But I don't get the sketches to dictate my work, I just let it unfold. But I make sketches here and there. Maybe if I was not born in Zimbabwe, I would be doing a different work. So I'm very lucky because, like I said, I still treat my work as a hobby. I enjoy it. It's been really great because I get a lot of inspiration from the animals which I grew up with, when I was a little boy, and also which I see from time to time. At first the pieces were very polished, right, and then waxed everything. But sometimes you just realize, no, it's enough with that rough texture. So sometimes certain tools, even a hammer, you can just finish with the hammer itself, just hitting the stone to create textures. As long as it's nice and I feel it's complete, I'll stop there.